Hello and welcome into week 2 of Pete's Corner. I'm your host, Brody Myers. College students deal with a number of stresses each day. Classes, COVID, relationships, but some go even above and beyond with extracurricular activities, health hardships, and more. Today, we're going to look at some of the inspiring stories across the OSU campus, so stick around. For 7 Saturdays in the fall, OSU is charged with putting on a party for 60,000 people at Boone Pickens Stadium. And it takes a lot to coordinate that, including some student workers. Adam Morey featured one of them.
Game days are a busy time in Stillwater. The town swells as fans flock to Boone Pickens Stadium. Up to 55,000 people can watch the game in person. The added crowd in Stillwater leads to an increased demand for food services. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, around 40% of college students work while they are enrolled in school. Hadley Brumley is one of those people. Hadley works at Rib Crib as a server. He said game days are one of his longest days.
Game days normally, they usually like me to work the entire time we're open, so that's at least 12 hours of my day right there.
Hadley works up to 38 hours a week on top of the 16 credit hours he's taking at OSU as a geospatial information systems major.
Basically any kind of application where you're looking at maps that need to be updated because you have buildings being made, you have different kind of parks being made.
Those 16 hours means he spends approximately 30 hours on homework each week.
Most of my homework actually is due at Saturday, 5 p.m., so usually game days make my Friday and Thursday a lot busier than I'd like them to be.
Hadley doesn't let that stop him from enjoying himself, however. He's involved with the geography club as well as a member of the rugby team.
I've never played rugby before this, so it's a really good learning experience.
Hadley's busy schedule doesn't only affect him. He's been friends with Dawson Garrett since high school and has lived with him for the last 2 years.
Sometimes I'm pretty bored. I just kind of sit around and watch TV most of the time.
Hadley said that even though most people are nice when he serves them, the job is still stressful when there are so many people to take care of on game days. For Pete's Corner, I'm Adam Morey.
Thank you, Adam. I'm one of those 60,000 people who attend each one of those parties, and I know I'm appreciative of every single person that makes a game day possible. And there's just more than one. Carter Stanton gives us a look at some other people who we may not even think about who make game days happen at Boone Pickens.
Thank you, Brody. Chances are you've probably been to an Oklahoma State football game before. There's a lot of jobs that go on behind the scenes, and many of these are occupied by students. Let's take a look at some of these student game day jobs that you may not have heard of before, or at least don't think about very often. First of all, we have the Pistol Petes. It's easy to let it slip your mind when you interact with the lovable mascot that there are people that spend countless hours auditioning, practicing, and roaming Boone Pickens Stadium in a costume on a scorching hot day. There are also plenty of students who work in the ticket office on game days. While this job doesn't involve sweating through a costume on a hot day, it's by no means easy. The student equipment staff is also incredibly valuable to the football team itself. These students travel on the road with the team and help ensure that all player equipment needs are taken care of. Similarly, there's student athletic trainers. These students are often enrolled in sports medicine or other medicine-related courses, and their work with the athletic department helps prepare them for their future careers. There are also students who work for Orange Power Studios, OSU's in-house video production unit. All of the great content that you see on the Boone Pickens Stadium video board wouldn't be possible without the hard work of students who work up to 12-hour shifts on fall Saturdays. So next time you're at a football game, think about all the work that goes into it behind the scenes and how some of your fellow students may be involved.
Thank you for that, Carter. That was fascinating. Well, softball is a sport that is rising in popularity, and here at OSU, we've got a pretty good team. Abby Forster featured a couple of managers who make things run over at Cowgirl Stadium. Abby?
The relationship between Sydney and Preston Beatles is not that of your average college-age brother and sister duo. The pair spend much of their time together out on the softball field working as team managers for the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Sydney Beatles began working for the Cowgirls a year ago after reaching out to a mutual friend and expressing interest in a manager position in the program.
I started the season not really expecting to be traveling with the team for road trips and kind of just working home games, but it turned out they needed someone to do video, and so I just stepped into that role. The World Series was honestly my favorite part, and it was just super cool because it's something that I'd watched growing up. I've been a fan of softball for a really long time.
While Sydney was at the World Series, her brother Preston was graduating from high school and getting ready to head up to Stillwater this fall. Wanting her brother to get involved as a freshman, Sydney encouraged Preston to reach out to Coach Gajewski and pitch himself as an addition to the softball manager team.
So pretty much I sent an email to Coach G and then told him I was better than my sister. And then he told me to come in, and then I came in and we talked about things and how they look for the next year. And here we are.
Sydney and Preston have adjusted to working together, but it still comes with its challenges.
We see each other a lot, which I think is different than most siblings when they're in college together, because we see each other almost every day, and that's probably just the most challenging part, just seeing him. But it's super fun. We're pals anyways, and so it's fun.
As fall softball ramps up, the siblings are being put to the test by sharing their work environment. However, Sydney and Preston will likely look back and cherish the unique moments they will spend together working for the Cowgirls softball team. For Pete's Corner, I'm Abby Forster.
Thank you for that, Abby. As the public address voice of the Cowgirls softball team, I'm biased, but I think it's the most fun sport on campus. Well, we're going to go back to Carter, who has some employment numbers. The percentage of college students who have a job, you might be surprised how many do. Carter?
Thanks, Brody. Let's take a look at national college student employment by the numbers. According to CNBC, 8 out of every 10 college students work a job at some point during their college career. 20% will work in the food industry, another 20% will work in the retail industry, and 17% will spend their time working on campus. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, of all college students who are employed, nearly 1 in 5 are employed 18 to 24 hours a week, which in some cases totals over 1,000 hours in a calendar year. Perhaps more students are employed than you may have thought, and they're working a lot of hours too. Back to you, Brody.
Wow, Carter, 8 in 10. So think about this. If you walk by 10 people, 8 of those people have jobs. That's pretty impressive. 80% is a big number for anything. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Esther Neyoung and Joseph Dean have a couple of stories on students who have made a global impact. Stick around.
I want to show you something. This is the money we could save by switching from fresh packed California crushed tomatoes to concentrated tomato paste.
I want to show you something too. I got a new door. Go take a look at it.
Nobody uses better ingredients than Little Caesars. Like fresh-packed California crushed tomatoes. Pick up a large, deep dish for just $8.
Pizza.
Welcome back to Pete's Corner. I'm Brody Myers. So far, we've looked at students who work in the sports realm, but now we're going to turn our attention to a couple of stories with global impact. Our reporter Esther Neyoung features a student who's working a key position in diversity on campus.
The Asian American Student Association
or ASA, is one of many organizations at Oklahoma State that promotes diversity and cultural awareness. For this student from Enid, it's one of her main focuses during her college career.
So my name is Calorie Gear, and I'm a junior here at OSU studying agricultural economics. I'm also pursuing a minor in Chinese. I am the Asian American Student Association president for the 2021-2022 school year, as well as the 2021 Miss Asian OSU. When I was about a year old, I was adopted from China, and I lived in Enid, Oklahoma my entire life ever since then. So I really didn't have much of a chance to connect with my cultural heritage. So I took this opportunity to join the ASA exec team in order to kind of reconnect with my cultural heritage and also help those who were kind of like me.
Regeer's title of Miss Asian OSU is part of a scholarship pageant whose mission is to further develop the leadership and confidence among the student body. With the addition of being the ASA president, she's got some big shoes to fill this academic year, according to a trusted faculty member.
The president of ASA is responsible for implementing plans and ideas for the organization. As Mr. and Miss Asian OSU, he or she needs to plan 4 events at least during the reign to promote the platform.
Regeer is still trying to figure out the balance between the two positions, but this experience has made her more well-rounded and prepared for the future. When asked if she has any advice for new students, she has this to say.
Don't hesitate. Even if you're like the slightest bit interested in one organization, definitely go for it.
Sometimes all you need is a little more confidence to do what you want, and college is the perfect time to get more involved, like OSU's very own Calorie Gear. For Pete's Corner, this is Esther Neal.
Thank you, Esther. Miss Regeer is certainly an amazing person, and her talents are going to take her far. Part of her work will benefit Zara, an international student from Iran, who our reporter Joseph Dean features now.
This is Zara. She's an international student from Iran. This semester is her first in the States. While she has been to other countries, this semester is her first living in a different country. Although she has enjoyed her time in Stillwater, she has faced challenges that many of us take for granted. I met with her to discuss some of those challenges and the experiences she has had so far.
I have 3 courses, each of them 3 hours a week, but I am 10 hours a week teaching assistant and 10 hours a week research assistant.
Other challenges that she has faced include finding food and transportation. Over her first few weeks in Stillwater, she has often walked to Walmart to get groceries. She has no car, and the bus system doesn't run all the time. Without a common group of friends to carpool with, it has been challenging to make the most of the city. Her recreational activities are only ones within walking distance of her apartment. Zara and many other international students often have to work twice as hard as other students. Differences in culture and living conditions make it more difficult to adjust to the college workload. I went out to try and find resources that are offered to international students. Things that could make the transition into a different country a little bit easier. The first place to look was the International Student Office at Oklahoma State. There, I discovered that most of the help students receive is based around finalizing one's visa and finances. I talked to other students to find out what their experiences with the office were like.
For transportation, from what I remember, they said nothing.
Okay.
So I think, I think they said it in the orientation day more than the international orientation. And the international orientation, they said nothing.
While the international office is a good place to start, it seems like Oklahoma State could do more to make such a monumental decision a little less scary. As it stands, students like Zara start off on the right foot, but quickly encounter obstacles to making the most out of their time here in Stillwater. For Pete's Corner, I'm Joseph.
Thanks for that, Joseph. Zara is one of more than 1,300 students on OSU's campus who's an international student. That makes up about 5% of the entire campus population. Carter Stanton, though, says there are more challenges than just acclimating to a new country. He shows us many of the challenges that those students face. Carter?
Beyond the obvious challenges of the language and cultural barriers, international students encounter many challenges that you may not think of. Let's take a look at 4 key difficulties that international students face. Number 1, finance. Managing day-to-day expenses can be a challenge on its own, let alone when you're dealing with a currency that you're not familiar with. Number 2, the in-class learning environment. Many students, especially from Europe, are used to a very hands-off approach from professors, which goes directly against how it is here in the US. Number 3, transportation. Few international students bring cars from overseas, which means they usually are left with few options. They either endure long walks or have to wait for the bus, which can take time. And finally, number 4, health. Ever since the COVID-19 pandemic began, traveling overseas has been a health risk. International students not only face this risk, but also must go extended periods of time without seeing their family as a result. But thanks to encouragement from fellow students and resources available on campus, the transition is made smoother and more feasible.
Wow, Carter, there's always more than meets the eye, and you just proved that to us. International students can get help if they want it. They can visit lcl.okstate.edu and click on the International Students page. And we'll drop a link to that below in the description. When we come back, we've got 2 more stories, someone who's serving in the ROTC and someone who was thrown a curveball for their health. Stick around.
The Deli Department at Homeland is Oklahoma's headquarters for party trays. Enjoy the time with family and friends at your next event, and let your neighborhood Homeland create the perfect fruit, deli, or cheese tray for you. The party planners at Homeland will help you choose the perfect party food, sized just right for your guests. Call us, stop in, or order online, and we'll make it ready for pickup on your schedule. Make your next party special with a party tray from your neighborhood Homeland. Good to be home, Homeland.
Hi, it's Sam at Louie's Grill and Bar, here to introduce our new menu items from south of the border. Come try our new poblano chicken tacos, or the ever-popular sriracha shrimp tacos. At Louie's, where you come for the food, but stay for the fun.
Welcome back to Pete's Corner. We're going to end with 2 more great stories. We'll start with our reporter Alice McElhoe, who spoke with Cadet Commander Michael Baker of the OSU ROTC program and all that he deals with. Alice?
It's an hour until sunrise, but Cadet Michael Baker is on the Colvin recreational fields with around 40 of his fellow ROTC members and commanders. Baker is a senior double major in history and psychology, but since his freshman year, he has been a member of the Cowboy Battalion.
It's been a blessing for me. It's afforded me scholarships that have helped me pay for school, and for the national scholarship. And I didn't think I got it, but about a week before school started my freshman year, I got a call, and I accepted that scholarship, and I've been here ever since. It's been great.
Baker received a 3-year national scholarship into the ROTC program, and now in his senior year, he has ranked up to become Cadet Commander. With this rank, however, came a whole new level of time dedication for Baker.
I don't know how many nights I've only gotten 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours of sleep, practically no sleep at all. Just staying up late, working on homework assignments or, written papers or anything like that. And then, getting up early in the morning before the sun's up, coming out for PT and being consistent.
Baker's dedication to both the ROTC program and his friends hasn't gone unnoticed to those around him either.
He is an inspiration to our younger cadets. He not only makes time out of his day to talk to anybody if they need help with their problems, but he also makes time for the program to help mentor the younger cadets and make sure that they're doing everything that they can to do good in their classes, do good with their fitness, and also make an impact in the program.
He's just an overall great guy. He encourages us, and he makes sure that we're all squared away with all of our school and fitness and everything along those lines.
It's here in the ROTC building where the Cowboy Battalion is building soldiers like Cadet Michael Baker every single day. For Pete's Corner, I'm Alice McElhoe. Thank you.
Thank you for that story, Alice. I know I couldn't wake up that early unless it was to maybe catch a flight in Oklahoma City. We thank Cadet Commander Baker for his service. We close today's show with an inspiring story. Our reporter Caitlin Shedjick spoke to a cancer fighter, Alexis Stuckett, who is balancing a lot here on campus. Caitlin?
Alexis Stuckett goes about her days like any other college student. She attends classes, has a steady job, and makes time to hang out with friends. With her cheerful smile and contagious optimism, it's difficult for anyone to notice the battle that she has been facing for the past months.
So when I was first diagnosed with cancer, I actually had a lump in my throat. I just thought it was a swollen lymph node. I've had it since the age of 13, didn't think much of it, didn't hurt or anything.
Alexis was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in June 2021. The same month her brother, Jeremy, was announced free of leukemia. Throughout the summer and into the school year, Alexis had to adjust her job with first-year success and balance her pre-vet courses. She did this all while fighting the disease and never backed down. After months of spending long days in the children's hospital and countless chemo treatments, Alexis was declared cancer-free August 19, 2021. Since then, she's been making up for lost time with her close friends and dedicating herself to her studies. As Alexis's life falls back into normalcy, she is grateful for the ones that stuck with her. Even though she conquered the illness with grace, she says that she couldn't have done it without her support group that was with her every step of the way. Plenty of her friends and family came together and reminded Alexis that she was never alone. Some even are thankful for what Alexis has done for them.
So Alexis is like the life of the party, and she really gets me out of my shell. She knows when I'm sad to just barge in my room and hang out with me. We just hang out all the time and really get to know each other and be goofy around each other.
Alexis will continue to dedicate herself into all that she does and bring happiness to the ones around her. She reminds us all that though life may be unpredictable, we should never back down and keep pursuing every step of the way. She shows with her positive attitude and with a bright smile that life cannot bring down those who are optimistic. For Pete's Corner, I'm Caitlin Shetzig.
My goodness. Thank you for that inspiring story, Caitlin. OSU is helping in the race to the cure via OSU Coaches vs. Cancer. You can find out all of what they're doing and maybe get involved yourself on their social media pages at OSU CVC. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. We love looking at all of these students and their inspiring stories, and there's more out there. The next time you're walking by someone on campus, think about what you might not see. For my co-producer Carter Staten, our executive producers Dr. Jared Johnson and Jeremy Davis, our technical producers Michaela Vaughn and Olivia Rodriguez, I'm Brody Myers saying so long. We'll see you next week.